Oh, have you tried out the brand new BuzzSprout Soundbite? Because it's amazing and it's been updated for a more custom experience for you, your podcast, and your audience. So let me show you exactly how you can use it for your podcast marketing strategy. Hi, I'm Krystal Proffitt, and I want to talk to you about the new BuzzSprout Soundbite. It's really hard to say. Like if you try to say that really fast, like it's just too complicated. But I want to talk to you about the brand new 2019 BuzzSprout Soundbite feature because it's pretty amazing, and I use these all the time to promote my podcast. So let's just get right into it. Like, what has changed? Why is it different? Well, the old soundbite feature was pretty awesome in itself, but the great people at BuzzSprout have listened to their audience, and people were saying, we want to be able to use our brand colors. We want to have our logo in there. We want to have, all these other cool things. They listened. So this is so cool. The old feature didn't allow for you to use your custom colors or to change the font, the text after it was already published. Like if you accidentally, if you don't want to have the episode number in there, or if you wanted to change up the title a little bit, you want to make it shorter, whatever the case, you couldn't really change it in the previous one and maybe the title cut off. Now it's customizable. So it's pretty awesome. So I want to give you an exact tutorial of how I do this whenever I create sound bites for my podcast episodes. So let's jump on over to my screen and let me share it with you. So I'm excited about BuzzSprout's new feature that they have with their soundbite. So I want to show it to you, and we're just going to go through a quick tutorial. So all I am is, if you're familiar with BuzzSprout, I'm in the episode section. You can go back to all episodes and choose whichever one you want to work with, but this is the one that I need to do for an upcoming podcast episode. So I'm going to go over to Create Video Soundbite. And then from there, you would just click play and find the section of the episode that you want to put out for a content teaser, or you want to add it to Instagram, or you want to use it for another marketing strategy that you have. But I already know the section of time, that I want to work with. So I'm just going to put that in here. I'm going to click set. I'm going to go over, where is it? 10:20. Okay, that's good enough.
So I've got a lot of stuff.
So I listen to it, make sure that's what I want. You can preview.
So I've got a lot of stuff about how to just live
the first 5 seconds, and then I always preview the last 5 seconds to make sure it sounds okay.
Contribute what you have to offer and generate an income, a cycle of...
Okay, that sounds good. So that is where the old BuzzSprout soundbite kind of left off, and now these are the new features that they just released in 2019. So as you can see, it has the logo of the podcast, it has the name, and then it has the episode title right here. And so, and I love how they put on here, it's great for Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And that's totally true, because this is what I think people want to see more of. So here's another one, and it says great for YouTube or your website. And then this one is great for Instagram stories. So they've really done an amazing job updating all the features to be on trend with how people are sharing their podcast information. And this is a really big deal for marketing your podcast and getting it out into the world. So real quick, I want you to comment below if you already use sound bites for your podcast, or if you're going to start using them now that I've shown you how to do it, and it's just going to make your life so much easier. So let me know if you already use these for your podcast or you're going to start using them. Okay, sorry. Let's go back to the end of the tutorial. So for today's purposes, I'm going to share this one across Facebook, and Instagram. So that's what I'm going to choose. And these are my preset brand colors. So if you don't have brand colors for your podcast, then I, first of all, suggest that you do. That way you can make everything uniform across all of your marketing strategies. You have the same colors that you use all the time, because then people will start to recognize your brand and your podcast. But if you don't have that like right this second, that's okay, because your picture will show up here, and then you can play around with the different colors you want to use that will best match your logo. And then why don't you just write those, write the hex codes, which is what these are right here. That is a hex code for the number. The number is the hex code of the color. And if you write that down, then hey, you don't have to do that later. You have them picked out. Okay, so this is the name of the podcast. I can always change it to just say the Proffitt Podcast instead of having that really long title. And here, this is a bonus episode, but I don't really want that on there because then it cuts off my guest's name. So that's how I'm going to do it. And then I'm just going to click Create Soundbite. Oh, it's still too long. So I'm going to take that even shorter. Take off her last name. Oh, it's still too long. Let's see if we can put an "and" in there. Yeah, okay, that made it happy. Okay, and then it says we are processing your soundbite and it'll be done shortly. So that's really all you have to do, and then you'll go back into the episode in a few minutes and it will be down there on the right hand side. Whenever it's finished, it will be right here. As you can see, it says creating your soundbite, and then you'll just click it and download it, and then it will be available. And that's it. Now you know how to create a BuzzSprout soundbite for your podcast. I said it right that time. I encourage you to try out buzzsprout.com for your podcast hosting site for 90 days for free. Y'all, I'm super cheap. And this is exactly what I did when I first started podcasting. I didn't know if I wanted to use this platform or if there was something better out there for me, or I was just cheap. I didn't want to spend a lot of money up front because I just didn't know if podcasting was going to be right for me. So I tried them out for 90 days for free, again, for free. And I've been with them ever since. I love their customer service. I love everything about them. And they come highly recommended from a lot of other podcasters in the industry. And if you're just getting started with your podcast, I encourage you to sign up for our 5-day free, once again, favorite word, free podcast bootcamp. I'll walk you through exactly how to start, launch, and market your podcast. I actually throw in some other little things on planning content and being consistent because those are so important to the life of your show. Be sure to subscribe below and hit that bell. That way you get notified anytime new videos are published. And if you're a solo podcaster, I encourage you to check out these videos that I recently did that are all about formatting and recording solo podcast episodes. So you should really go check those out. I think that they have tons of great content. But remember, keep it up. We all have to start somewhere. Don't go chasing waterfalls.